I had just turned 21. While most people my age were still figuring things out, I had spent the past 3 years building a tech startup from scratch. Sleepless nights, ramen dinners, rejection after rejection. It wasn't glamorous, but somehow it worked. We hit a breakthrough. Suddenly, the money was real. The dream was real. To celebrate, I bought something I had been visualizing since I was a teenager. A matte black Rolls-Royce, clean, quiet, elegant. Not to show off, just to remind myself of how far I'd come. I also moved into a quiet suburban neighborhood. Nothing fancy, just peaceful. Clean lawns, trimmed hedges, neighbors who waved politely. At least, that's what I thought. I parked the Rolls out front, took a deep breath. For the first time in years, I felt calm. Then she appeared. She marched across the street like she was on a mission. Short blonde bob, tight expression, arms folded like a bouncer, and a shiny HOA badge swinging on her chest like it was a police shield. "Whose car is that?" she asked. "No," demanded. I looked up. "Mine." She blinked like she didn't believe me. Then came the laugh, sharp, bitter, condescending. "You? At your age? There's no way you legally own a Rolls-Royce." She pulled out her phone and said the words I'll never forget. "I'm calling the police. I think you stole it." At first, I thought she was joking. I looked around, expecting someone to pop out and say, "Gotcha." But no, she was dead serious. She started describing me on the phone like I was a criminal. Young black male, early 20s, suspicious behavior, possibly armed, standing next to a stolen luxury vehicle. My heart dropped. She was actually doing this. Meanwhile, curtains started moving. Neighbors peeked out. Some came onto their porches, watching silently like it was a movie. No one stepped in. No one said, "Hey, maybe he lives here." Just silence. It was like I'd been erased from my own home. Still, I didn't react. I knew how fast things could spiral. I stood still, calm, collected. I had nothing to hide, but I also knew that didn't always matter. 5 minutes later, the sirens came. If you enjoyed this wild HOA showdown and love real stories with shocking twists, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to QZ Stories. We bring you true tales where justice, HOA Karen, karma, and drama collide. Every single week, 2 squad cars, doors flung open. 2 officers stepped out, one with his hand already hovering over his holster. Step away from the vehicle. Hands, where we can see them. I complied instantly. No sudden moves, no questions. I knew the script. Karen, she stood back like a proud citizen on patrol, arms crossed, chin up, like she'd just saved the neighborhood from a supervillain. The officers frisked me lightly, then began the questions. "Is this your car?" "Yes." "Do you have registration?" "Yes. It's in the glove box." They retrieved it. I also showed them my license and pulled up the digital deed to the house on my phone. I explained where I worked, what I did, how long I'd lived. Here. Still, the doubt lingered in their eyes. "Where did you get the money? What exactly do you do? How old did you say you were?" Each answer felt like it was being judged. Finally, one of the officers ran my plates. The other kept, watching me, frowning as if trying to fit me into a mental box that wouldn't hold. Then came the radio call. "Clean plates, clean record. The car was registered under my name. The house, too." The officer turned to Karen. "Ma'am, why did you report this as a stolen vehicle?" She didn't hesitate. "Because I know he didn't earn that. Look at him. It's a scam or a stolen identity or something shady. I know what I'm talking about, but now..." They were looking at her. I spoke up, calm as ever. "I run a startup. I moved into this home last month. She's never spoken to me, just didn't like the way I looked standing next to my car." The cop nodded slowly, then turned back to Karen. "Ma'am, we need your ID." You made a racially motivated false report, and that's a serious offense. She resisted. I was trying to protect the community. The second officer stepped forward. That's not your job. That's harassment, and it's illegal. They didn't arrest her, but they did write her a formal warning, documented the incident, and told her plainly, call 911 again with a false report and you will face criminal charges. Her face flushed. She turned and stormed off without another word. The next day, everything felt different. Neighbors who never looked at me before were suddenly offering weak smiles. One older couple even brought over cookies. Guilt in every bite. Karen. She avoided me like I was radioactive. No more HOA patrols, no more comments. I didn't file a lawsuit. I didn't call the news. I didn't even tweet about it. Because sometimes silence speaks louder. Sometimes the best revenge is living well, and in my case, in a Rolls-Royce parked right outside a house I earned.